The idea behind a private cloud is that they've been around for a long time. Everyone here is probably using them in one way or another. A great example is Citrix. Anytime someone's accessing any sort of application or service via the web from a location that isn't on site, and they're connecting back to your site, technically that's a private cloud. We're taking a little bit of liberty with some of these definitions and sort of making them things as we go here. But that's our definition of a private cloud. These are the things that you need to be responsible for as a technical staff, hosting your own private cloud. Specifications and purchase of all equipment, maintenance and lifecycle planning, day-to-day infrastructure of on-site systems, DR backup planning and maintenance, and virtualization design, management, etc. Technical staff focus time and resources toward maintenance and ongoing operations. That is sort of the end result of having a private cloud. That'll make more sense as we go along. Examples are Citrix, Terminal Services, SharePoint, that's hosted obviously internally, and any application or service that is accessible via the internet. Most companies are already hosting their own cloud solutions in some form or another, and I think they have been for a long time. So this is the concept of cloud, especially private cloud, should not be new to anyone. I think we kind of have different definitions of hybrid, and it's probably because it's kind of a generic term. So at Clark Newber, we have a very specific definition. We have some systems are managed by a third party through the internet. And for us specifically, our exchange is like that. We don't have a hosted exchange solution, but we have a managed exchange solution. So we have a series of servers physically at our location, and then another company is responsible for maintaining and managing those servers. The reason we went that direction is it frees up time for technical staff to focus on new and innovative ideas, which is big for us. I mean, it's the concept, and Peter uses this term all the time, but he loves to call it, the plumbing. And how do we get rid of the plumbing in the office, and how do we move forward and to actually work on business process improvement, workflow, and things like that? Because if we're really mired down in the day-to-day, like running an Exchange server, right. You don't have a lot of time to do that kind of stuff. You have to bring in extra help, or you have to have the CPAs do it, and it's just, this type of an environment, and then the next step even further really allows the IT staff to have a lot more time to do these type of other types of projects.
I think we may have covered some of this, but the why choose hybrid, and external option may be unavailable, might be significantly cheaper than having a system fully hosted. Okay. Maintain most control and security while not having to patch and monitor the system, which in both those scenarios is a plus. And then leverage investments in existing infrastructure and migrate as determined by life cycles or et cetera of some of your hardware and in other internal environment. Now, the last point and stuff is kind of important to us. We've got an environment right now where our Exchange server, of course, being part of our virtual farm, if we move that to a hosted environment, it'll free up some internal resources, both SAN and CPU, memory, et cetera, so we can elect to improve our existing infrastructure with more Citrix servers in our farm, or different environment if we want to add other servers for testing, or any number of things. It just provides a little more flexibility without having to change anything. I mean, we don't physically have to invest in anything new, but it gives us the advantages we've talked about, especially from an Exchange standpoint, by moving that to a third party. All right, then, of course, last but not least is our area on public or external types. The idea, I guess, when you really talk about a public or external is to take your entire environment and move it up there. And the entire environment would mean everything except whatever you have to access the internet. So if you've got 15 servers in your office, then that's what the goal would be, is to take that entire environment and have it out in a hosted facility someplace, and maybe reuse that room, take that space internally and turn it into an office or something like that. But storage environment managed and monitored, firmware patches and upgrades get applied, the improved disaster recovery and backup or archive reliability. If maybe you're struggling to achieve that now within your environment, then that might be a benefit to look at some of these elements, especially from a blended standpoint, where you can take advantage of some of these other resources that are being offered by the hosting provider. And then, as Casey pointed out, a lot of the time what we're trying to determine is what the benefit is to your internal technical staff. So
the ability to be flexible is obviously key anytime we talk about anything like this. And a great example is I want to say next month or something, we have, it's like 12 people starting simultaneously. And it's just nice to have the ability to, for like a Go system, we just basically create new accounts. They're basically already paid for. They're part of our system. We don't have to go out and buy new licenses. So it's little things, but they really add up. It really allows your IT staff to do what they want to do as opposed to do what they have to do. Now they can actually go in and learn new technology and try new things and help other parts of the business. And we see this all the time. I mean, this is a big thing for us, is that as we're not mired down in some of these day-to-day things, it really allows us to do other things. So I keep saying that, but that really is, for us, that's really key.